Good evening, everybody. My name is Simon Ward from the triathloncoach.com, and I am your official Outlaw coach. Now, you have approximately, actually exactly 10 days to go before the race, and I have a few tips for you to help you make the most of those final 10 days. So I'm going to expand onto the screen here. You're going to hear my voice but not see my face. So here we go. So these are do's and do nots for the final 10 days based on years of experience and years of observation, seeing athletes making errors as they come into a race. Now, I've no doubt that you've been training hard, most of you, for several months and many weeks, and this is the big event of your whole year, maybe your whole life. So you really want to make sure that all that training is worthwhile. And there's not much you can do to improve your fitness now in the last 10 days, but there's an awful lot you can do to mess up the training that you've done. So these are in no particular order of importance. They're just alternating between do's and do nots. Some of you may never have thought of these. Some of you may already be on top of it. But if I can help one or two of you out, then that will be good. So here goes the first one. Do keep up the training intensity. In order to keep the blood volume high and be able to access the performance you've trained for on race day, you need to keep some intensity. Now that doesn't mean doing lots of high intensity training. It means a small amount on most days. Something above your race pace. So it's okay to run a little bit harder than race pace. It's certainly okay to bike, and it's definitely okay to swim. So the harder you run, the more recovery you'll need. With biking, you'll recover fairly quickly. With swimming, you'll recover within a day or two, as long as it's not too hard. However, on the do not side, one of the biggest mistakes people make is to think that they've got time to squeeze in a final big session. So we've got a weekend coming up, and it would be a mistake to think that you can use this to squeeze in a final 5-hour bike. The fitness is not going to help you at all on race day, and there's a possibility that you may not recover from that ride in time for the Outlaw race the weekend after. So, particularly if you've missed a bit of training recently, please do not think that fitting a 5-hour ride in now will do anything other than improve your confidence. You've already got the fitness, and you don't need to do a 5-hour ride to prove your confidence. Maybe do a 2-hour ride at race pace, and you should get off feeling great, and that'll give you confidence enough. So cut down on the volume. Now, at the same time as I'm saying cut down on the volume, I guess some of you have been training twice a day some days. Some of you have been training twice a day most days. And so what I would suggest is that if you're used to this and used to this routine, and you feel a little uneasy about the fact that you're going to have to cut your training down, at least you can do is turn up to those sessions, turn up mentally to those sessions at the same time each day. So if you're used to training twice a day, carry on, do that. Just keep the sessions short. And if you think like you've got lots of spare time in your hands, then I've got a tip for you later on. So maintain the training frequency, reduce the volume, keep some intensity. Now, another thing you shouldn't do is leave it until the last minute to get your bike serviced. I spoke to an athlete yesterday who almost had his race ruined last weekend. Fortunately, it wasn't his main A race. He took his bike to the bike shop 10 days before. They said it was going to be back within a day. It actually took a week. He didn't get it back until the Friday. He wasn't able to ride it until race day. You definitely don't want that to happen. So get it in as soon as possible. And if they can't promise you that it'll be back the next day, take it somewhere else. But please don't leave it until next Thursday to get it sorted, because that might leave you little time if there's any problems. All right, now a do. One do. Every year we have people coming to the Outlaw that don't know the rules, that don't know the timings. Okay, it's all in the race manual. And here is the link which you could copy and type into your URL browser button place in your computer and download this. If you go to the One Step Beyond page for the Outlaw and look at the right hand side, you will see a box marked race info. Click on that and you'll be able to download it. It has all sorts of information, including timings of the briefings that happen on the Saturday, and there are more than one. Also the timings for registration for racking on the Saturday, for what time transition closes on the Sunday. And I can tell you that when I'm at the start on Saturday ready to start commentating, there will be someone amongst the entrants who turns up with 2 minutes to go saying they didn't realise. Please don't be that person. So do download and read the manual. Now, Do not panic if you've missed a small amount of training recently. It won't affect your fitness. Unless you've been locked in a cupboard or bedridden for 2 weeks, your fitness will not have taken one dent at all by having missed some, maybe from work or a small illness or injury. So you're absolutely okay. All right? What's taken a dent, I would imagine, is your confidence. But I can assure you, and you can take it up with me on sometime in the Outlaw if you like, when I promised you that you'd have the fitness, you will have the fitness to achieve this if you've got all of those months of training behind you. So don't panic if you missed a small amount of training, or if you're going to miss a small amount next week. It really won't affect your race. Now, you need to have a flexible, robust race day strategy. You need to have a plan. But of course, as the army say, no plan survives the first contact with the enemy. In this case, the enemy is the race itself. So you get started, somebody kicks you in the face, you lose your goggles, and your plan's gone out the window. Or you ride out of transition, go over a bump and lose all your food. So have a main plan, not based on time, but based on how you're going to give your effort during the day. Okay, because that's the most important thing, not a time. And then have what ifs, what if this happens, what if that happens, so you're able to respond quickly and without panic. All right, do not. Remember I said that you will have less time to train and therefore more spare time, but it's not a good idea to fill all that spare time with the gardening or with chores, some DIY that's going to take your energy up. You're supposed to be resting. This stuff can wait until after the race, when I'm sure you'll have lots of spare time on your hands when you're resting, and that's when you pay back all that goodwill that your family's given you. So do your chores then. For the moment, use the extra spare time to check things like the race manual, check the course out, but above all, get a bit more sleep and a bit more rest. Okay, another do for you. Right now is a good time to double check all the kit you intend to race on to use on race day. Do it now in case you need to replace anything. I remember picking up a pair of running shoes to go to a race and suddenly realising that I'd got no laces in them. So that was one job I had to do in a panic. Fortunately, it didn't take too long. But those are the sort of things you can get. Maybe it's bike shoes that you need to replace the cleats on. Maybe it's a wetsuit that's got a nick in it that you need to repair. Check it all now, and then you've got plenty of time to attend to it before next week. Okay, do not overeat. You're going to be reducing your training. It's called tapering. Okay, now you do need to load up with carbs, but that's a job for next week, and that's something I will do in another video next week. For now, if you're reducing your training, don't forget that you need to reduce your calories. Not massively, but just to make sure that you don't put on a couple of kilos, probably not that much, but a kilo next week and come into the race day feeling all sluggish. It's easy to do, so just be mindful about what you're eating. Okay, another do. Do remember to enjoy the final few days of the journey. Yeah, that should have said the. Don't know what's happened there with my spelling, but anyway, remember to enjoy the final few days of the journey. The whole journey that you've been on, right from the moment you decided to enter Outlaw, whatever it was that motivated you to do that, all the training, the people you've met, the friends you've made, the times you've enjoyed training with your mates, the laughs you've had, yeah, the new things that you've discovered that your body can do. Think about all those. It's not just race day, it's everything that's gone into it so far. And remember, we want to see you on the finish line. All right? We want to see you smiling, because we'll be smiling, we'll be encouraging you, the crowds will be fantastic, you'll get to experience it all. And if you have been at Home Pierpont in the past to watch these events, then you will know what the spectators are like, and you're going to be part of that next week. And myself, Kyle and Lee will be there on that Sunday to welcome you all home. So enjoy the next 10 days. I will be back next week with some more videos, but until now, take it easy, enjoy the training.